Hey guys, welcome to Endurance Room. I thought we'd go through a primitive trap trigger today to help us out in catching some fish. This would be something that you could set up or set a number of them up and then walk away and go take care of other camp business, so you're not spending too much time at the water's edge, and then come back later and hopefully have some dinner on the line. This is going to utilize a specific trigger that I first learned about last year on the FPS Outback channel. The gentleman is based out of Australia. He's come up with a number of really clever designs, and this specific trigger he utilized in a foothold trap for placing a snare around an animal's leg. He did it to approximate the design of a contemporary modern foothold trap. So it was a really cool trap and cool build, and I'll put a link in the description so you guys can check it out. I'm going to use that trigger to set a fish hook. So hang with me. I'm going to walk around and see if I can find a couple Y branches. That's all it takes. And then we'll carve it out and set it up. So here's our individual components all carved out. This is our first Y branch. I've put an edge, a flat edge on the bottom here. You may need to smooth this out a little bit, but this looks pretty good. We've got a couple notches on the sides to help secure our string that's going to go right in here. And then this piece is going to get staked into the ground after we get it all set up. This is our lever, and it's going to fit inside the string, tensioned up, and then secured with our trigger. This is our second Y branch, and it's just been notched right there. You kind of want like a U-shaped notch so the lever and the engine can be secured together. Let's get some cordage and we'll set up our engine. We've got our engine. We're just going to take our lever, fit it in between, just adjusting the length, and that is our trigger. So that'll be put in place. That's the basis of the trap. The fishing line will be secured right here in this notch, run out to the water's edge, and when the fish takes the line, it'll pull on this, dislodging our trigger, which will set the hook. So here's a look at our trap all set up. I'm just gonna get this high vis cord on it so you guys can see. Here's our line running out to the water. Here's our trigger, our lever, and our engine. We've got our fishing line tied off to the trigger stick, and then it's run right down to the lever. And when the fish takes the bait, it's going to dislodge this, and the lever is going to pull forward, hopefully setting the hook. Now, the longer the lever that you have set up, the more it's going to pull the line and set the hook. So just bear that in mind. So we've got our fish on the line. He takes the bait and tries to swim off, and boom, this flies forward, hopefully setting our hook. So to set up a snare for this trap, I've got a hank-a-bank line about 6 foot long, made a loop at the end with an overhand knot. And then if you take that loop, fold it in half and back around, it gives you this little hitch that applies tension to the snare. So as it closes down around the animal's neck or body, it's gonna lock on itself, which is a key feature to modern snares. So way more effective than just making a loop, which can, you know, the tension can let off and the animal can get out. So I'm just putting the tag through the loop, through the hitch, pulling it down to set up our snare. There's our snare. So here we are, all set up with our snare. It's attached right here to our lever. And this is our trigger stick. And the snare is just looped over where the animal's foot would go. You could cover this over with debris. You could cover this over with debris. You could lay some small sticks over top of it to give you more of a floor pan. This could be boxed in a little cubby and baited. You could have bait down here along the trigger. You could have it up above it, so the animal would have to walk in and be messing around with bait up here, putting its foot down on the trigger. So he comes along and he's messing around with our bait, steps on our stick. Our snare is around the animal's leg, and then as he pulls on it, it's going to pull our loop down, and it's going to bind on itself. And the harder he pulls, the more it's going to cinch down. And once it's on there, it's on there pretty good. So once again, 3 components. We've got our engine, this Y branch. We've got a lever, which is a straight stick. And then we've got our trigger stick, which is basically just a U. I used a Y branch to carve that out, but you could use anything that would give you this little bit right here. That's what you're looking for. That's going to sandwich over top of the lever and the Y branch engine. So it's pretty simple to set up, and after you get it carved out, you know, it's portable, it's light, you can take it with you. So if you had a primitive trap line, it wouldn't be that big of a deal to carve some of these out at camp during the night and have them in your bag to lay out on your trap line. Right on, guys. Hope you enjoyed. It was just a quick look at a simple trap design with a variety of applications, from setting a snare to setting a fishing hook. Check out the original video from FPS Outdoors. I'll make sure I leave a link in the description below. You guys can check that out. He's got some really cool stuff. I'm going to be heading to the Pathfinder School this week for their advanced class, so stay tuned for a follow-up video. I'm stoked. I can't wait to get there and learn and bust my hump a little bit. It's going to be awesome. Thank you guys for the encouragement. I'll be sure to have something good for you when I get back. I've really been working on my skills this past week. I've been practicing my bow drill as the weather permits. The humidity has been pretty nuts for that, but I've gotten a fire going and I've gotten a couple umbers, so hopefully I'll be able to continue the trend when I get to the Pathfinder School. I've been looking at the weather, and it's been looking a little wet for the next weekend, so we'll see what happens. Humidity is a big factor in getting that ember going. Like, I learned that you have to be mindful of even your breath. There could be so much moisture in your breath that the ember will suffocate before it even gets started. So it's really interesting. It's an interesting process, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving what I'm learning, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. So hang tight. I'll have a follow-up video for the Pathfinder School Advanced class, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming to Endurance Room. Please hit the like and subscribe button to help me grow the channel. Really appreciate it. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. See you in the woods.